Good morning. We're starting a whole new system here called Evangel Online, and today in geometry we're going to do the law of sines. Now, the law of sines can be used to solve any triangle, including right triangles. So if you knew this, you could have gone back and did all the sine, cosine, and tangents. So there's some things you need to know. First of all, you can go to page 655. I'm going to give you a minute to go to there. And we'll read a little bit of that, and then we're going to press on. This is not the best book for teaching this, but it will help you, okay? So, go ahead and open up your books to 655. And then we'll go over. Here's some data that you need to know. So I strongly recommend you get out your cell phone or your pad and take a picture of this. Because this is going to be the key to everything we do. I'm going to be constantly referring to back and forth to this. So like I said, I'll give you a couple seconds here, and here's the law of sines. Sine A over A, sine B over B equals sine C over C. The uppercase are the angles, and the lower cases are the lengths of the sine. Now, we're going to do the same thing we did before. If you have to solve for an angle, you have to use the inverse, don't you? Now, so the inverse to find any angle. Again, what we need to know as previously is that these three angles are still going to add up to 180 degrees. Okay? So again, like I said, we're going to do problems, and when we can, we're going to fill in all the information, and then we're going to use this to solve the problem. Okay? So again, on 655, there's some good information there. It says when you use the law of sine, okay? And it says the trigonometric ratios you have studied so far are related to right triangles. In this volume, you explore the law of sine, a theorem involving sine ratios that applies to all triangles, okay? Now go to page 655, and this is also worthwhile putting in your notes. I'll give you time. Go to 655. And there's the law of sine up there, which I have drawn right here, okay? But down when it says solving triangles, it tells you what kind of triangles you can solve. It says solving triangles in the bottom 665. Two angles in one side, or two sides in an angle that is opposite one side. And we'll look at that. Again, so put that in your notes, because you may need it later on. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to do example problems, and then I'm going to assign problems in the book. Now, heads up, the book is going to say about ambiguous signs, or ambiguous solutions. Just disregard that and just find the first one, okay? And I'll get that when we do the assignments. All right, so we're going to start working in this thing, all right? So hopefully you got that written down, and I'm going to be referring to this for the whole period, okay? And like I say, we're going to, again, now there's two cases that we're going to use today. There's a case where you have to find the side, and a case where you have to find the angle. So that's why all this information is here. So hopefully you have this, okay? And I'm going to bring it down now. Let me get out of your way, so make sure you got all this. And I'm going to be referring to all this all the time, okay? So let's go. All right. All right, so first thing you do is on top of your sheet, you just go like this. Just write this down. Sine A over A equals sine B over B equals sine C over little c. So this is the equation we're going to use. All right. So the first one is, the first problem is, I'm going to use the information, okay, I'm going to draw a triangle, okay, and we're going to use it. This case is, we're going to find the two sides. All right, so my triangle is going to look like this, okay, and it's going to be A, B, C, okay? And then they're going to give you two angles, 41 and 72. This is 41, excuse me. This is 41, right? And this one is 72. Now, I told you that if there's, here's the case is, we know that the sum of these three angles is 180. So it would help if we had this angle right here. So if we took 180 and subtracted this 180 minus 72 plus 41, we'd find out that this here is 67 degrees, okay? So let's look at that. So now, I filled it all in, and now they want me to find sides B, right? Here's little b, and here's little c, and they gave you A as 20, all right? So I'm gonna sit back and make sure you got everything copied, and we'll go from there. So, now we're going to translate this into this, and we're going to find the sides. So again, we're going to say that the sine, right? So the sine, watch, the sine of 72 over 20, correct? So that's what you're doing. Sine of, here's your sine, here's A, and here's, here's little a. Now we're going to go equals sine of B, right? So that's a sine of 67 over B, which we don't know, do we? And this is going to equal, I'm going to bring this down right now. This is going to equal sine of, sine of 41 over C. So I just filled this all in, didn't we? So now, all we got to do is solve for this and this. Now this, we've already done this before, is to solve for this, we just need to cross multiply. So I'm going to do these two first, because that'll give me B, right? And then I can do these, which will give me C. So watch what I'm going to do. Sorry about allergies, are killing my voice. But now I have to look up the sine of 72. So you take your calculator, right? And you turn it on. I'm sorry. You get your calculator and look up the sine of 72. So turn this on. Sine of 72 equals 951. So that's 0.951 over 20 equals, now go here and find the sine of 67 equals 0.9 equals 0.92. Go out to 3 decimals if we can. 92. In this case, it's 920 over B, which equals. Now I'm just going to do this, and we're going to set this aside, aren't we? All right. So let's solve. So to solve this, let's get this out of the way. Okay. So let's solve this. So now I get 0.95 over 20 equals 0.92 over B. So we're going to cross multiply. Okay, well all you got to do is cross multiply. So I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to go like that to cross multiply. So I know that 0.95B equals 20 times 0.92. So we need to get your calculators out. We're going to go, excuse me, we're going to go 20 times 0.92 which again, 20 times 0.92 equals 18.4, all right? So this is 0.95B equals 18.4. Let's review what we've done so far. First of all I'm doing is this section here, aren't I? I translated from here to here to there, so we cross multiply. So B times 0.95 is 95.95B equals 20.92, which equals 18.4. Since this is a multiplication, I need to divide both sides by 0.95. All right, so I go 0.9, I divide this by 0.95, I gotta divide this by what? By 0.95. Sorry for the handwriting. All right, so again, so this crosses out, doesn't it? So now I just take 18.4 and divide it by and I get 18.77. So I know that B is 18.77, isn't it? So we got that done, don't we? So again, review. Again, all I'm doing is this section here, correct? I'm solving for what? B, aren't I? So again, it's going to be cross multiply. I get 0.95B equals 20.92. 20.92 equals 18.4. So I know this is 0.95B. I need to divide both sides by what? 0.95. And then this is going to equal 18.77. All right? So sit back and relax and enjoy this and see if you can cipher this. Now we've only found solve for B, haven't we? Now we have to solve for C, don't we? So now, since I'm solving for C, this is already done, isn't it? So I can use this with what? This, can I? Correct? So we're going to use this with this. So now, everybody agree, now we're going to go from here to here. Now we're going to go way over here. So let's set this up. All right, so it's going to be what? 0.951 divided by 20. And that equals, what's the sign of 41 now? So we got to change it, don't we? So we go in there, just go sine 41 degrees equals 0.656. All right? So it's sine of 41 equals that, doesn't it? And that's going to be over C. So again, what I'm doing is, I went from here to here, now I'm going from here to there. So I'm going to use this twice. Now, you could use this and this. It doesn't make any difference. All you're doing is setting up proportions, aren't you? So now we just have to cross multiply, and we're going to get the same thing. 0.951C equals 20 times 0.656, doesn't it? All right? So there you go. So 0.95 times C, correct? Equals 20 times 0.656. So now I get 0.951C equals, correct? So all you have to do is go 20 times 0.656, and that's going to be about 13.12. All right, so the next thing we do is what? We divide both sides by 0.951. And I have to divide this by 0.951. 0.51. Then we're going to find out what C equals. All right, so it's 13.12 divided by what? 0.951, and it equals 13.79. So this equals 13.79. So C equals what? 13 point. There you go. So I'm doing the same procedure twice, aren't I? And again, when you're, again, so all we have to do is when they give us the angle, we just use our sign, don't we? We haven't, again, we're doing the simple problems now. But now what we got to do is find an angle. Remember, when you find an angle, you got to use your inverse button, don't you? That's a carryover from that. I'm not going to change this though. But now we're going to show you a case where, you know, you're going to have to find an angle. All right, so make sure this. All right, hopefully you made a copy of this. This was what? Sine of what? 40. Sine of 41, isn't it? All right. So again, you're doing this twice. You're going from here to here, and then you're going from here to here. You could, depending on what's going on, you could shuffle these around, but you're still going to what? Cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you know you're going to have to divide. All right, so there's case one where you find two missing sides. Now let's find the angles. If I find one missing angle, I can take those two and subtract it from 180 and find the other missing angle, can I? All right, so let's say what we're going to do. All right, so here's our, let's do the drawing, figure it out. It's going to be the same thing. So let's draw a new drawing here. So here's where we're going to find a new one, and we're going to use different letters. So again, we're going to use, we're going to draw a triangle, okay? Draw the triangle. It's going to look like this, something like that. Again, every time you do a problem, make sure you draw the angle. So we got QSR. So this is Q, this is S, and this is R. All right. So now they're going to give us, right? They're going to give us. This is 82. This is 82. And this is 34. And 27. All right, now they're going to ask you to find, make sure I make this a little bit bigger. All right, so now we got to find these two angles. But if I find one, I can automatically find the other one, can I? And I can also find the third side. In this case, they're just finding this is okay, so now we got to find that. So let's see what we can do here. So I want to find this angle here, don't I? So can I go like this? I'm gonna use this. The sine of R, right? The sine of R equals what? Over 34, right? Correct? Correct? You with me? The sine of R equals over 34, and I want to find angle what? Q equals Q over 27. So again, the sine of Q is, right, sine of Q is equal over 27. But we don't know what this is, do we? So this is X. So now I just cross multiply, don't I? So now I need to find the sine of what? 82, right? So the sine of 82, get your little calculators out. 0.99. So the sine of 82 equals 0.99. So this is going to be 0.99 over 34 equals Q over what? 27. Let me make that a little bit bigger so you can see it, so I can get out of the way. So this is going to be 0.99. All right, so again, 82 is 0.99. Nice thing is, you know you're pretty close because the sine of 90 is 1. So sine increases as you go from 0 to 90, doesn't it? It goes from 0 to 1. So now guess what we're going to do? We're going to cross multiply again, aren't we? But we're looking for angle Q. So we're going to do the same thing. So correct? 0.99 times 27 equals 34 Q, doesn't it? Make sure you copy this down because it's a little bit easier really to find the missing angle, okay? So now, we got that. So we found this, now we got to find this, don't we? All right, so now we go 0.99 times 27, it's going to be about 26 something, I bet. 0.99 times 27 equals 27 point equals 26 equals 26.73, okay? So that equals 34Q, doesn't it? So now, guess what? We're just going to, since this is a multiplication, 34 times this number equals 26.73, doesn't it? So I divide both sides by 34. So I'm going to divide this by 34. I'm going to divide this side by 34, aren't I? So this cancels out to be 1, doesn't it? Now I take 26.73, correct? So I take 26.73 and divide it by 34, and it equals 0.78. So this equals 0.78. Now we're not done. This equals 0.78, okay? That's not our answer, because now we gotta go the inverse of 0.78, okay? Let me go back here and see if this is big enough. Okay? So try to absorb that, we're gonna go over it, okay? All right, so now we've got to find the angle. And remember, I told you to find the angle, we have to use the inverse, don't we? So now we're going to have to use this, aren't we? To find this angle, we're going to have to go sine what? A 0.78, aren't we? So again, we just go, depending on your calculator, you gotta figure this out. Okay, so you gotta go, I'm going with mine, just sine 0.78 equals 51 degrees. So it equals 58 degrees. Now make sure you know how to use your calculator. Remember, I told you to sync your calculator, you want to use what? Sine of 30. Sine of 30 is 0.5, and then you put in 0.5 and do the inverse, and it should come out to being 30. So again, remember, if you borrow someone's calculator, guess what? You have to do what? Check it out, right? So I know this one, I know that Q is what? Q is 58, isn't it? How about that? Now, do I need to do any more trig from this one? No, because this plus this plus this adds up to 180, correct? So 58 plus 82 plus S equals 180, correct? So that's going to be, it's going to be what? 140? Is that right? 130. Let me just do the math. I think it's 130. Check my math, because I'm old. So it's 58 plus 82. It does equal 140. All right. So this equals 140. So 140 plus S equals 180. Correct? So 180 minus this, so I know the S, right? So S equals 40, doesn't it? So this has to equal 40. So again, make sure you double check your work because, right? Add them up again to check this. So 58 plus 82 plus 40 should equal 180. So a lot of work here. So again, you gotta practice this, okay? So again, let's clean this up. So again, you notice we're using all the stuff we got. So guess what? We're gonna do this, aren't we? Sine of R, right, over 34 equals Q over what? 27. Sine of R equals 0.99, doesn't it? 80.99. And over 34 equals Q over what? 78. So now we did the cross multiplication. We get 26.73 equals 34Q. Divide both sides by 34. 26.73 divided by 34 is 0.78. Correct? Now I got to use my inverse, 0.78. And I know it's going to be what? 58 degrees. I go over here and put 58, and then I can find my missing angle. Now, if I need to, I can find the missing side too, can I? Because I can set up the proportion. So again, we spent almost 20 minutes doing two problems, but see if you can digest that, okay? I always start off with this, don't I? If I find Q, I'm doing that again. All right, so let's do another one, okay? You're going to have, now, for extra help, you can go to Khan Academy. When you go to Khan Academy, look up the law of sines. And they're going to show you, they're not going to probably go in this much detail, but they're going to show you how they do it. Again, they're assuming a whole lot, almost too much. but they're gonna go through it very, very easy, okay? So let's do this one here. Oh, I got a beautiful drawing here. So this is gonna work out good for this. So here's my drawing. Okay? And here's A, here's B, here's C, correct? So this must make this little a, little b, right, and little c. So now, what they're going to do is tell you that A equals 28 degrees. So I put in 28 there. And they say C is equal to 52. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Now remember, I want to know what this angle here is too, don't I? Agreed? So I take 28 and 52. That's going to be what? 80, correct? Is this going to be 80? Check it out. Let's see if that's right. I'm trying to do stuff in my head with it. All right, so we go 28. Let's do it. 28 plus 52 plus 80 equals, that's not right, is it? It's going to be 90, isn't it? I think it's going to be 90. It's a right triangle, isn't it? Now this is an interesting problem because this is what you did on your test before. So I can use, what I can use now is sine, cosine, and tangent, work it out, can't I? But you can also do it by using the law of sines. So in this case here, you can do either one, right? So they want you to find what? They want you to find, they want you to find A, all right? So all I need to do is find A, don't I? So can we do this now? Let's see. So A, so the sine of 28, right? And I'm going to erase these, and this is what we're going to get. So the sine of 28 over, what? Sine of 28 over A equals, well, we don't have another one, do we? Now, here's what I'm going to do though. Since we can't do this, in this case here, I'm going to just use the what? The sine of what? The sine of A equals, I think we have a sine here, don't we? I think I did the wrong problem. No, I didn't. Okay, A is 15.3. So A is 15.3. I'm sorry. And then they want you to find side C. Okay? So they want you to find C. But can I use the Pythagorean theorem if I find this? So I'm going to say that sine 28, right, over what? 15? Correct? Equals the sine of 52, right? Over C. Check it out. Now you could have used sine, cosine, and tangent, but I'm just showing you that you can work this out using the law of sines. So the law of sine says the sine of 28 is over 15 equals the sine of 52 over C. You with me? So now all I have to do is find the sine of 28 and 52, don't I? So we go sine of 28 equals 469. So 0.469 over 15 equals what? Sine of 52. 0.78 over C. Not hard. And I didn't have to go through all that other stuff because they're only asking me to find one, aren't they? So now I can work this out, can't I? Because they want to know what C is. So again, once I find C, if they wanted to find the other one, I could work it out. So again, just for practice, what we're going to do, we're going to go what? We're going to cross multiply, aren't we? So 0.469, correct? Times C equals 0.78 times 15, isn't it? Okay? So now I go 0.469C equals, that's a point 0.78 times 15 equals 11.7. All right, so now what we do now, I have to divide both sides by what? 0.469. Divide this by 0.469, and that's going to be what? $24.94. That's how long C is. Now, I can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the missing side since that's 90 degrees too, can't I? So I can go, if I need to find the other side, but they just want you to find C. So let's see what we did. I'm using these sines of these two angles. I think if you recall, when we're doing sine, cosine, tangent, didn't I tell you I always like to use sine? Now you know why. Because if you give me two angles, I can find all three, can't I? All right, so again, the sine of A, right? Sine equals sine of 28 over 15 equals the sine of 52 over C. We cross multiply, we get 0.469C equals 0.7815. We get 0.469C equals 11.7. We divide both sides by 496, divide both sides by 496, and guess what? C equals 24.94. All right. Again, take your time and copy this, okay? All right, too bad we're not in class because you could ask questions, but again, you can go to Khan Academy and look up the law of sines and they'll show you some problems. The problem is, instead of doing this, they start right here. Okay, so let's do another problem. So we found a side. Finding the sides are easy because you don't have to use the inverse, do you? All righty. Okay, same, you can use the same drawing, but now they're going to give you new information, aren't they? So it says the measurement of angle A is 37 degrees. So that's given. So that's what's given is 37 degrees. Now, it says B is 73 degrees. Okay? And it says B is 1.7. Okay? Find A. So the problem with this is, though, I need to find this angle here, don't I? Remember I told you, fill everything in. So 37 and 73 is going to be 100. 110? Check it out. I think it's 110. Now I can do the problem, can't I? Fill in everything. Because lots of times they like to give you missing stuff, don't they? So, let's see, 37 plus 73 equals 110. Now I can do the problem, can't I? Because I need to find A, don't I? So A, right? So I know the sine of 37, right? Let's do it over here. So the sine of 37 over A, correct, equals the sine of what? 110 over what? 1.7. Same problem though, isn't it? Just cross multiply and that should give you your answer. They're not hard. The problem is you gotta set them up. So this is step one. So now we're going to, again, first step I did was put in the opposite finger now, right? So now I can work this problem. I've got two angles and the opposites, don't I? So let's do this. So it's going to be, now we've got to work up the sine of 37 and the sine of 110, don't we? Correct? .93, so it's 0.93 over 1.7, and the sine of what? Sine of 37 equals 0.60. 0.60 over A. Guess what we do now is we just cross multiply, don't we? So it's going to, again, it's going to be, so it's going to be what? So it's going to be 0.93A equals 0.60 times 1.7, isn't it? Cross multiply, and I get what? 0.6 times 1.7 equals 1.02. Okay? Now, I got to divide both sides by what? 0.93. So 1.0, you take 1.02 and divide it by what? 0.93. This is going to be a 1.10. So side A is 1.1. There you go. Okay, we're going to do one more. You're going to have to work hard on this. And like I say, is the example in the books aren't really pure. That's why we're going to, like, this is third problem in what? 40 minutes. So we're going to do another one where we find the angle. So again, what was given? Correct? This wasn't given, was it? And I said fill in everything. So I filled in 110, didn't I? Now I've got 37 over A equals 110 over 1.7, and now we can work the problem, can't we? So you got to understand why we have to put in this missing. If you didn't put this in here, you couldn't do the problem. Okay? So make sure you do the problem. Let's find one where we have to find an angle, because then we're going to run out of time. All right, here we go. Let's find angle A. We're going to draw the same drawing. which is nice, and this is how you're going to get it in the book and on your worksheet, okay? Here's A, here's B, here's C, okay? And they give you angle B is 78. They give you A is 1.45. And B is 2.63. And they want you to find angle A. Again, they want you to find angle A. So we got everything we need, but now we're going to solve for A, aren't we? So I know that angle A, right? So A is equal, we don't know what it is, but I know the sine of A over 1.45 equals the sine of 78 over 2.63. Check it out. We're just using sines. Sine is the opposite, right? So again, now it's the same thing, except we're going to cross multiply, but now we're going to solve for the angle, aren't we? So now we go to sine of A, which we don't know. So it's going to be 2.63, right? Sine of A equals 1.45. Now I gotta look up the sine of 78, don't I? Can you look up the sine of 78? All right, so the sine of 78 is 0.978. All right, so now what I need to do is multiply and divide again. You know, understand all these problems are cross multiplying, and you've done that for a long time, except you're using decimals, aren't I? So now I gotta go 2.63 sine of A equals, you multiply them out. Equals 1.4. Now, what do I do now? I divide both sides by what? 2.63. So I'm going to divide this by what? 2.63. So 1.4 divided by 2.63 equals 0.539. What are we doing? Still doing the same thing, but that's the sine of A, isn't it? So now I have to go like this, don't I? I got to use the inverse, correct? The inverse of sine A is equal to 0.539. So again, I have to do my shift now, don't I? Every time you got to find an angle, you got to shift, and so now I go. So I go what? I go shift, sine, 0.539, and it's 32.6. So A is 32.6. All right, so A is 32.6. Correct? So what is C? So I take 180, right? Subtract 78 and subtract 136. So again, 180 minus 78 32.6. 69.4. There you go. Now from there, these problems get long because then they can say you got to find the other sides, can't you? Well, you can do that by doing what? Now you just go what? The sine of 69.4 over that equals one of these over here. These are two, the way they do this could do it. Multiple test problems, okay? So, I know too bad you're not here because I know you got a lot of questions, but hopefully you can go back and still that and watch how I go through it step by step. Finding the angles, sometimes pretty easy, isn't it? But finding the side and then the angles, it gets kind of dicey too. So remember, finding the side is not that hard, but you're still going to cross multiply, and then you're going to cross multiply again, aren't you? All right, let's do one more problem before my voice gives out. Yeah, we're going to use the same drawing. And we'll do another side, I guess. They like doing these small numbers. Here we go. All right. A is 41 degrees. B is 58. And A is 14. Find B. We can do it now, can't we? Because I know that we got these two here. It's a pretty simple problem. So the sine of 41 over 14, right, equals the sine of what? 58 over B. Sure you follow what I'm doing, because I'm taking the sine of 41, and the sine of 58, and now I can solve for B, can't I? Now we're going to do the same thing, okay? So, again, it's going to be the sine of 41, so I need to get my calculator out again, which they give me problems. So the sine of 41, .656 .656 over 14, and the sine of 58, 0.84 over B. With me? All right. Cross multiply, right? 0.656 B, right? I'll make that letter, equals 14 times 0.84. So I'm going to have to multiply it by this and then divide by this, because this is what I'm looking for, isn't it? Okay? So 14 times 0.48 is going to be about 12, I bet. 14 times 0.84, 11.76. So this is 11.76. Now I need to divide both sides by what? Need to divide both sides by 0.656. So 11.76 divided by 0.656 equals 17.9. There you go. All right? So there's about 5 examples. Hopefully, now when you get this thing, hopefully you can do what? You can go through it and watch all the steps. Okay? So now, here's your assignment. Get out your books, and we're going to do problems in the book. Okay? Turn to page 658. I'm going to put this down. 658. Page 658. Now, we're going to do 8 through 21. Now, 8 through 21, okay? Now, listen carefully. 8 through 15, you're just going to find what they want to find, okay? 16 through 21, they're called ambiguous. Don't try to find a second answer. Just solve it like you would 8 through 15, okay? In fact, let's just do it this way. This is going to take a long time to do, so let's just do 8 through 15, okay? Take it back. We're going to do 5 through 15. 5 through 15. Okay? All right. So now, listen up. On number 5, just find B. Number 5, just find B. Number 5. Just B, okay? 6 and 7, they only have one answer. And then 8 through 15, they have one answer. Now I'm going to help you because you can, there's no way you can check your work. I guess some of these you can find in the back, but I'm going to give you some even answers, okay? So get ready to copy. So we're going to go what? 6, 8, 10, 12, right? And 14. Okay, I'm going to give you the answers to these. All right, number 6 is 111.74. Number 8 is 2.954. Number 10 is 5.64. I'm going to give you number 12 is 7.93. And the last one, I'm going to give you another one that has an angle. The other one is going to be number 11. Okay? Number 11 is going to equal 15.45 degrees. All right, so check that out, because there's no way, this way you can start working the problems, and then you can check to see if your answer's right. I know you guys can go online and they'll do the problem for you, but do the best you can under the circumstances. Again, watch how I did them. If you can, sometimes you may have to go over The first two problems I did, how to do the side or the angle, and just go step by step. And 90% of the time, you're going to cross multiply, aren't you? In fact, 100% did. All right, so again, there's some answers to check your work, and probably you can find some answers in the back of the book. All right, these are going to be due, it's going to take you a good day or two, so these are probably, see if you can get these done by Friday, and then Friday I'm going to go over these, okay? But you're going to, remember, you're going to do 5 through, we're doing what? Yeah, 5 through 15, and there's some selected answers, okay? Well, good luck, and I'll see you Friday.